Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. So I picked up an Xbox Series X on Marketplace the other day. I did it. Yes, sir. Your boy picked up a console yet again. It's been a grip too, and it isn't going to be my daily driver as far as video games go, but it has been pretty fun. I had a PS5 early last year, so I would say April 2021. I bought a PS5 just to see what all the hype was about, see if I could play some of those games that I missed out on. And I found that after I was done playing Madden 21 at the time, I was playing it on whatever their subscription service is, EA Play for PlayStation. And yeah, once I got through that and I had already finished Ghost of Tsushima, it got to the point where there was really nothing on that console for me. All the games I really wanted to play, I wanted to play on PC anyway. But I will say that with the Xbox, here you get text. All right. So again, when I was over here on the Xbox, definitely Game Pass is driving factor. My big hesitancy towards the Xbox Series X is that I already had a gaming PC. So I was like, why am I going to go ahead and pick this up? It really doesn't make too much sense, but I ended up doing it anyways, just to see what it was about. I wanted to see, what we had on offer there. And I also wanted to try out the EVGA XR1 capture card that I had, which I may actually use on my 6900 XT build from time to time, just to show some videos of my BIOS. I think that's a nice thing I could do for y'all, is kind of show y'all some of my BIOS settings. I don't have anything crazy. I'm not like a super whiz at this. I just trial and error some things, and if it don't crash, then we're good to go. So yeah, but about the Xbox, right? And Game Pass is a huge value. There's actually games that aren't on the PC version of Game Pass that you can get on the console version. So I've been rocking out with a couple of games that are on there. I've also been able to compare, because I haven't seen game comparisons like that since I first got on the PC and I was using the Xbox One X. So I tried like games like Guardians of the Galaxy, because I have that on PC, and I tried it with the Xbox Game Pass, and I was like, it ain't gonna sell me. But I did try some other games too that I would normally never buy. So MLB 2K22 The Show, or MLB The Show 22, whatever it's called. I still wouldn't buy that game, but I tried it, and it didn't cost me anything to do so. So that's another big advantage of the Xbox. The graphics are A1, but if you're on the fence between getting an Xbox and getting a PS5, here's what I would say. I would say there's really three things you should look at. Where are your friends playing? Because that's going to be the ecosystem. Or if it's more of a specific game that you play, like Warzone, the ecosystem doesn't matter too much. But if you're trying to play a multiplayer game that is not multi-platform, then you definitely want to figure out where your friends are going to be. The second thing is, do you want to play on a PC monitor? Because it's 9 times out of 10 going to be more beneficial for you to get an Xbox. The reason I say that, and the reason I can't really stand by the PS5, is because it doesn't have 1440p support. So you either have to, I talked about it when I had the PS5. There was a Evanlink HDMI adapter that would trick your console or trick your monitor into receiving a 4K signal. You could either do 4K 60, or you had to do 120 hertz at 1080p, which to me it's either really blurry or you're stuck at 60 hertz, right? So with the Xbox though, that's not the case. It does have native 1440p support. If you have HDMI 2.0, which 90% of these gaming monitors do have, they just don't have 2.1, which is what you need for 4K 120 hertz, right? But again, I was able to just toggle on 1440p, quick, easy, done. Turn on 120 hertz, quick, easy, done. And I was playing Halo Infinite, and although the graphics are a little bit like very, very slightly softer, the FPS was jumping off, man. It was wild. So it felt like a high-end experience, like playing PC with a controller when I was playing Halo Infinite at that performance mode. I don't really do quality mode, because I would hate to ever have to play a game at 30 FPS. Like, it's not something I would ever want to do. I never liked it when I was all the time on console, and I'm not about that life. It looks stuttery, it looks choppy, and borderline makes me seasick. It's just, I don't know, it ain't for me. 60 FPS is cool. Like, I'm down with that. 90 is my sweet spot for story games, and anything above that, it's great. It's gravy. And then for competitive, I want to try to stay above 200 FPS. So that's kind of like the way I look at things. And the Xbox Series X isn't getting you 200 FPS, but it does have 120 FPS in there. So you can at least have that middle ground when it comes to those competitive games like Warzone, or if you're playing Halo Infinite or Gears of War. I think Gears 5 has I just finished downloading the story there. But the multiplayer has a 120 FPS mode in it. So with my 165 hertz monitor, it's perfectly fine. And that again is the second reason why I say you should get it. The third and final reason I would say is it's actually available. It's not everywhere, but even if you were to go on Marketplace, especially where I live, which is it's Tech City, right? So everything's available on Marketplace from 3090s to there's no shortage of anything, right? It's just, are you willing to pay? But the price that they're asking for is sometimes like $20-$30 more than if you were able to buy it from Amazon or buy it from Walmart, actually at MSRP. So if you were to buy it for $500, it's usually about $530, $540 after tax. And most of these resellers are selling it for $550, $560. So I mean, at that point, it's a risk going to meet somebody with that. So I would say Cash App and be safe, be smart. But yeah, I mean, you can actually get one, right? So that's a big deal as to whether or not you make that decision. And if you really think about it, at that $550, because PS5s are still going for about $750. You could probably talk somebody down to like $675, $680-ish. But if you really were to weigh the two out, you can get an Xbox and buy Game Pass and have 300 plus games. Because that whole project, what was it? It wasn't Project Sparta, I think, with is what PlayStation calling theirs. It's not looking too hot. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to be a real Game Pass competitor. I'll just keep waiting for them to make their third or their first party titles available on PC through Epic. And I'll just get them that way, because it's not looking like the play to have one of them. But their first party games, if you're really big into story games, don't rule out the PS5. It's awesome for that. And as far as just raw performance and compatibility, I would say that's where the Xbox really shines. And then you have Game Pass that just trumps everything else. So yeah, that's my take on the Series X. I like it. I'm gonna keep it, get some games for me and my kid to play. And then on Game Pass, some of the titles that I can't get on the Game Pass for PC that I might want to try out, I'll throw it on the not the PS5, the Series X, and try it there. So y'all be easy. I'll catch you on the flip. Deuces.